Sorry to whoever it offends on this channel, but it needs to be said. The Ron DeSantis 2024 campaign is not being well run at all, and we need to discuss that in today's video. Stay tuned. Okay, folks, well, today we got to talk about some drama within the movement as it regards to the 2024 presidential race and this very interesting strategy from the Ron DeSantis camp to basically not really be noticed or make headlines or show yourself around. It's very interesting. So anyways, long story short, if you're not familiar, there's a Turning Point Action event going on this weekend in West Palm Beach. That's the sister organization of Turning Point USA. And, you know, you see the usual cast of characters, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump. But actually what they've done with this event is they openly invited all of the 2024 candidates to come speak, give their ideas, give their platform, right? It's an action summit. It's kind of like the NRA. And so when you look at their list, obviously Trump is there, but there's also Vivek Ramaswamy and even Mayor Francis Suarez. That's actually the mayor of Miami. And he's kind of a liberal Republican, kind of a neocon. But like I said, they invited everyone. He said yes. Very interesting, right? And so this is kind of the situation that's happening here. Now, very interesting development here is that Ron DeSantis has officially declined the invitation to attend the Turning Point Action event this weekend in his own state of Florida. Okay. Now, I think that's a mistake. I think that's a terrible idea. And I don't think it's a good look at all. Because this is the biggest candidate action summit happening in your state. They're trying to give all the presidential candidates a platform here, and you're just gonna skip it, right? And the DeSantis people might say, Vince, he doesn't want to share a platform with Trump, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you're not gonna be on the same stage at the same time. Everyone's open to speak at this thing. You understand that, right? But I think that's actually a big mistake, because this is the biggest event of the month, frankly, that's happening in your own state. You're invited to speak, and all he's doing, and this is a very odd strategy. I don't understand what they think they're doing here. All you're doing is giving an open platform to Trump, right? So here's the biggest event in Florida. All the eyes are going to be on this event this weekend. It's like the CPAC of the summer, right? And you give Trump and Vivek and Francis Suarez, I guess, you just hand them the platform in your own state. I don't understand what the Ron DeSantis campaign has been doing, because I think listen, you support DeSantis, fine. You know I've been with Trump since day one, but let's be honest. I try to be fair and objective about this, and my fair and objective sense says, I see the polls first of all, but I also look at the fact that what headlines has Ron DeSantis made? Because understand, that's a big part of the campaign, is gaining and garnering attention. Ever since that Twitter announcement, I have not really heard a single thing from Ron DeSantis. I've seen a few ads here and there, but that's about it, right? Whereas Trump, you know, he makes headlines, he garners attention. Even Vivek Ramaswamy, this virtual no-name, I see him around a lot. I hear about him doing stuff. He's making waves. That's the big problem, I think, at the moment with the Ron DeSantis campaign, is it's not making waves. It's not garnering attention. Frankly, it's kind of quiet, right? It's just no one's really paying attention to it. And, you know, if he were 30 points ahead like Trump is right now, maybe you could get away with that. But when you're trying to run in second place and catch up to Donald Trump, you have to be garnering, frankly, more attention than Trump. Not garnering virtually no attention at all. I've not heard at all, basically, from the Ron DeSantis campaign since this entire thing has started, okay? And frankly, not a lot of people at this point even seem to be interested in it when you look at the polls. But see, in my opinion, it wouldn't fix it overnight, but here's a chance to change that, right? Here's a chance to speak at the same event as Trump and kind of draw a divide, draw the rivalry, and at least make some waves, right? At least be seen, at least be present at the biggest event of the summer in your own state. And yet he's choosing not to do that. And this is not the only case in which you're seeing this happen. His unwillingness to actually gain attention and make himself heard and actually garner publicity. Because yesterday, or I believe 2 days ago, we actually heard on the Patrick Bet-David podcast. If you guys know Patrick Bet-David, huge podcaster, right? And he's a right-wing guy, but he has a very large podcast. RFK's been on it. Alex Jones, Andrew Tate. It's just one of the biggest podcasts in the world. And he actually revealed yesterday in an interview with Lauren Chen, who's a conservative commentator, that they've been trying to reach out to the Ron DeSantis campaign to do an interview, and basically they're being ghosted by the DeSantis camp, even though PBD is pretty friendly to DeSantis and all this stuff. Take a listen here. This further hammers home the idea that for some strange reason, Ron DeSantis does not want publicity. He does not want to make headlines. He does not want to make waves. And it baffles me to really, I don't know why. It's a really suicidal strategy, but check it out.
Let's do this. The star power. By the way, his team, I've communicated with both teams, with Trump's team, with his team, with RFK's team, with Vivek's team. We're in communication with every one of the teams.
Suarez.
Do you know which team sucks in follow-up or getting back to us? They text, in a text, and then boom. Okay, I'm available this afternoon. Great. No follow-up for 2 weeks. They're the worst in follow-up. It's a reflection of the brand. It's not a good look. And this is not like it's a small podcast. We got 17 subscribers and you're doing this with. We got a platform to say this to the market. Yes. Your follow-up sucks with people that are reaching out to you. And we communicate with every campaign. So you're talking about, and FYI, I keep saying this. We came here because of this guy. Mm-hmm. We're in Florida because of this guy. I've moved, I don't know how many people we moved out. If I tell you, in the last 26 months, 28 months, if I tell you 1,500 people have moved to Florida because of what we've done, that would be a small number. We've moved a couple thousand people to Florida with the amount of times we've raved about him, raved about the state. We've moved people to the state. And these are high-quality people that we move to the state. These are not non-performing people. These are job creators, entrepreneurs that we have moved to this state. There is support there. You're saying you have to be able to sell yourself, right? Okay. Let me give you another example of somebody.
So, here you have, again, Patrick Bet-David, first of all, multimillionaire. Okay, so you're looking at maybe money, or at least money networks to donate to the campaign. He's worth like $400 million. He has one of the biggest podcasts in the world, competes with Joe Rogan and all those people. That's how big we're talking here. And very prominently, he's actually been a big salesman for DeSantis in the state of Florida, because he famously moved out of Los Angeles to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, brought this huge media company here with him. And a lot of people know who he is. You're in the state of Florida. You're the governor there. Why would you not go on this guy's podcast? What's with the decision making here, right? I don't understand the Ron DeSantis strategy of basically refusing to garner publicity and refusing to be seen. How do you think you're going to win the 2024 primary if you are not seen? If you're not making headlines, you're not making waves, right? So you won't speak at this platform they're giving you in West Palm Beach at the Turning Point event. And no, but Trump is speaking there. Well, hypothetically, aren't you going to have to share a debate stage with him? Maybe not, because Trump might not even debate at this point. But hypothetically, if it gets to that point, right? So what's the big deal with that? And again, like I said, this is going to be the biggest event of the summer in your own state. And you were invited as a 2024 candidate to come and speak. And what do? Oh, no. Who cares? I don't get the strategy. How and answer me this to the Ron DeSantis people, because every time I criticize him, it's sure just from day one on this campaign. Every time I've tried to point out flaws, I do it from an analytical basis. Okay, let me just say that. And I've always said at the end of it, I say, look, I'm a Trump guy. And I feel like what we're seeing from the DeSantis campaign right now actually vindicates it, even though I have to say I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit surprised at how incompetently the DeSantis campaign was being run. Because, first of all, I had a lot of respect for DeSantis, right? And I had respect for his acumen and his competence. And the sheer incompetence of this campaign is striking to me. I don't know. I was not expecting it. I was expecting the forces around against Trump, I should say, to be a lot stronger than they are. They're not, whatever. But what I've always said when I criticize DeSantis is, listen, if you're a DeSantis person, why are you getting mad at me? Take this advice and run with it, because I'm pointing out what he's doing wrong, right? I'm an analyst, a commentator, right? But no, they're going to go and get mad at me. So to the DeSantis people, I ask this question to you. Please explain or try to rationalize or defend the current strategy and how it actually makes any sense. How does it what is the reason why it is a smart political decision for him to skip the Turning Point event in his own state that, like I said, may be the biggest political event of the summer, right? why would you do that as a presidential candidate? Why would you turn down a chance to get publicity? And if you say, oh, well, maybe the crowd will be hostile to me, Trump, this and that. Okay, fine, whatever. I mean, still, if it's your own state and you get booed in your own state at a Republican event, that's a problem. That should discredit you right off the gate. But if you want to say that, fine. Why not go on the Patrick Bet David podcast? Why not do it? It's one of the biggest podcasts in the world. He's friendly to you. He is right-wing. He is Republican. Donald Trump hasn't been on the podcast yet, which gives you an advantage with his audience, right? Why? And by the way, but he's an internet guy. The Ron DeSantis campaign has basically been terminally online and all over Twitter. That's the only place they actually have a campaign right now at this point. So what is the argument against going on this podcast? It's none. But this is the problem with Ron DeSantis. The campaign won't garner any attention. It won't garner publicity. And for some reason, I don't know why, they don't seem to want it. They want to run this campaign in the dark. They want to run in the shadows. And maybe that would work if you're Donald Trump. Just put the car in cruise control, drive. You're 30 points behind, Ron. You're 30 points behind. And your strategy is to gain no attention, to not be seen anywhere. Nobody cares about you. There's more people at the moment interested in Vivek Ramaswamy because I don't mean in terms of the poll lead, but he's surging more than you are because he is putting himself out there. Ron, you got to I'm just saying to the DeSantis people who are going to get mad. If you want to win the primary, what is your argument for him not putting himself out here there like he's doing right now? I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. He needs to be speaking at Turning Point. He needs to be going on this. He needs to be everywhere he can be seen. He needs to be seen, especially if you're genuinely trying to beat Trump. Maybe he's not, though. Maybe he's secretly on our side. He's throwing the race secretly. I don't know, but it's baffling. The incompetence of this campaign has been baffling to me. I don't see it making headlines. I don't see it making news. I don't see it doing anything. And I've even seen this attitude shift on Twitter because Twitter, as many people may be familiar with, is probably the top Ron DeSantis place. It's really the only place seemingly where Ron DeSantis has a significant share of real life support. And the polls I've put out on the past on my own Twitter account. So just to give you an idea of the audience, right? On my own Twitter account, Ron DeSantis has won or come close to winning all of the polls on my Twitter account in the past. It's the only place that happens because, like I said, Twitter really likes Ron DeSantis. I put out this poll on July 11th saying, do you think DeSantis is running a good campaign so far? 82.5%. Many of which I'd have to imagine are Ron DeSantis people because, like I said, he's won the past polls on this same exact Twitter account with the same exact audience. 82.5% said, no, he's not running a good campaign so far. And I would concur. I would tend to agree. I don't know what he's doing. What are you doing? Where are you, first of all? I know he's doing events, but what are you doing to garner attention? What's going on here? Well, come on, Ron. What are you doing? I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be complaining because it makes it easier for Trump and Vivek, the two candidates I like more, right? But yeah. All right. Well, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm sure we'll get angry Ron DeSantis people who, they'll call me a Trump cultist, and then when they just can't take criticism, even when it's completely honest and valid. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm just saying. But yeah. All right. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Be sure to go join our email list. Okay, we have an email list now at thevincedao.tv.com. Again, that is thevincedao.tv.com. Go sign up for the email list for exclusive content. You'll get an exclusive video this week if you sign up at thevincedao.tv.com. It's free. Okay, it's free, so go do it. All right, and until next time, Alpha moves only. God bless. Have a very good day, and peace. Hey guys, Vince Dao here. Hope you enjoyed that clip from the Vince Dao Show. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And be sure to check out the Vince Dao Show live every weeknight here on this channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a great show. Many are saying this. So leave a like, check out our other clips, and be sure to check out the show. God bless.